You hear that? That's the awkward silence of a family dinner after you just got caught vaping. Most vapes contain high levels of nicotine and disappointment. Brought to you by The Real Cost and the FDA.
This episode is brought to you by Kia's first three-row all-electric SUV, the Kia EV9, with available all-wheel drive and seating for up to 7 adults, with a 0 to 60 speed that thrills you 1 minute, and available reclining lounge seats that unwind you the next. Visit kia.com/EV9 to learn more. Ask your Kia dealer for availability. No system, no matter how advanced, can compensate for all driver error and or driving conditions. Always drive safely.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show, and in today's episode, I wanted to talk on my frustration with the gaming industry, because that's one thing that I've seen is that either you have an arcade game or you have a simulation video game. Now, when you see an arcade game, yeah, like, all right, so let's just use racing games as an example, because that's where the issue is at. That's why I'm even doing this episode in the first place. But so anyways, let's say you got an arcade racing game and then you got a simulated racing game. So a simulation racing game is like they try to make it like the real thing. Key thing that I just said, they try to, all right? They don't actually go through with it. They try to make it like the real thing. And then you got an arcade game out there where it's like, yeah, they'll have a Ford Mustang. They'll have it where the cars look just like how the car actually look. It don't look too, it just has an arcade feel, but they make like the visuals look realistic. Like, so a game, for an example, the Crew Motorfest. Cars look just like how they actually do in real life, but they have it where it's like your car is hitting these crazy jumps. And what else? It got like a boost system on there where you press a button and your car just takes off on some Fast and Furious stuff. What other things do they do? Yeah, they just have like a bunch of unrealistic things. In my opinion, that's what a video game is supposed to be. Now, then you have the simulation of video games. Video game, for an example, Gran Turismo 7. Now, my thing is this. If you're going to give me a simulated feel, all right, it needs to be an exact replication of what's actually going on in real life. Now, the issue that I have with the game, I just had but my microphone trying to scoot in my chair. But anyways, the issue that I have with Gran Turismo 7, good game. Don't get me wrong. It's a good game. But the issue that I have with it is that they have it where you get halfway through a race, right? And then that's when they want to tell you, oh, it's going to rain outside, by the way. They don't have nothing pop up on the screen. And if you do, it's at the small corner where you're not going to be looking at it. You got all these things going all across the screen, but at the small little left side of the corner, that's when you got to click on the little weather icon and see if it's going to be raining. And they don't even really tell you that it's going to rain. They just have like this little thing goes across the map of your the track that you're going to be at, and it's like, oh yeah, it's like, I guess if you see some colors going across the track, then yeah, it's going to rain. Fam, that's not telling me nothing. If I'm playing this racing game left and right, and then out of nowhere, I just get hit with some rain, fam, that's not a simulation. Having it where I'm, because no, this is what, in reality, this is what will usually happen. You're, like, it's being told to you, or you're getting an exact, like, look, or you're seeing that it's gonna rain. But you ain't gonna know all the way up until that's the thing that I'm just like, it irritates me, because I'm like, fam, who have you talked? But it ain't even just with that. There's so many different games out there where they do some dumb stuff like that. And it's like, fam, I don't know who you guys contact when it comes to developing a game, but you're talking to the wrong people. But it'll be like that with shooting games. Like, for an example, it'll be like that with a military game. It'll be like that with other games where it's based off of some real stuff, but then they just got that most unrealistic, claims it's a simulation, but then they just got that most unrealistic part of the whole video game that just ruins it. And I'm like, fam, that's false advertisement, okay? That is 100% false advertisement. That's not a simulation. A simulation, you have people talking to you in your ear like, hey, it's gonna rain. Maybe you should come through the pit stop and change out your tires or something. No, they don't tell you nothing. Gran Turismo 7, no, they don't tell you nothing. You don't have nobody talking to you. You don't have no team. You don't have nothing. You're just out there by yourself. What race do you know where a racer is out there by themselves? They ain't got no team. They ain't got no people talking in their ears. When have you ever seen that? Even in the Crew Motorfest, they have it where it's there. They do have a race in there where you have to go through the pit stops to change out your tires. And that's supposed to be an arcade game, bruh. How is it that an arcade game is doing a better job than the simulation game? I'm saying it's stuff like that that you guys gotta really sit down and you gotta pay attention to that. That don't make no sense to me, but like I said, it's like that, okay? Why is it like that though? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What I'm trying to figure out is why am I out here spending $70 on a game where they're supposed to be so-called claim to be a simulation, and there's that one thing that's just so annoying, bruh. It's so annoying. But this done happened to me twice in Gran Turismo. Where it's like the first time it happened, the crazy thing about it, they'll have it where so if you're doing these, like these menus, so they call it like these menu races. You gotta go to a cafe and, talk to some random guy there, then he'll set up some races for you. But so they have it where it's like, you do all of these different races, right? All of these different races, and then they get to that one point, that one race that you're not paying attention to. You done did all these other different races with just regular tires. And then they have it where they don't even do like an automatic equip. Like, even if it was on some stuff like that where it's all like, hey, it have like a thing pop up saying like, but no, what's crazy is that they'll have a thing pop up saying that, oh, this is a dirt race, so we're gonna, so you gotta go out and buy dirt tires. Why not have that when it's raining? Hey, it looks like there's rain on the forecast, so let's just go and so you're gonna have to go to the tuning store and buy some rain tires. Okay, cool. Go buy some rain tires. I'm right back on that track. Why do you guys not have that set up? They made sure of it. They tell you all these other different things, but when it gets to a point where it starts raining in the game, that's when they don't want to tell you nothing. And I'm supposed to continue showing support and love to the game. But you guys want to do some stuff in there. I'm telling you, man, it's getting to a point where I'm like, I just can't. Like, I've already had said how I feel about Call of Duty. And I'm like, if this Call of Duty is not good, then I'm just done with the Call of Duty series. But there's a lot of games out there where I'm like, I just don't even want to play video games, period. Just because of just the dumb stuff that comes with video games. And it's like, fam, if you guys are going to come out with a game, then come out with stuff that makes sense, but don't come out with things and it just don't make no sense. You guys, it's either they come out with a game, stuff is missing, they come out with a game, stuff is broken, then there's like that one game where they come out and they actually do some good things with it. But it's like, and then you end up beating that game, and then it's like, oh, well, now what do I do? Then you go back and you play the games that's either broken, stupid, they're false advertisement, just not working. I'm saying, it's like, bruh, it shouldn't. That's one thing that I say in my streams. It's like, when playing a video game, I shouldn't get a headache when playing a game. I should be able to have fun. I should be able to relax. I should be able to wind down. Fam, I tell you, ever since I had to say, like, getting into streaming and then like trying to figure out like new games to stream and play and all that stuff, it has been the most stressful 3 years of streaming, bruh. 3 years of streaming. I'm just trying to sit down, find a game to play and actually have fun with it. But every game out there just wants to do something dumb. And I'm like, bro, what do you guys, but no, that's a genuine question. They're like, no, that's something I'm like, who do they contact when making video games? I'm gonna look up Gran Turismo 7 real quick, because I'm like, who was behind the game? Is it 2022? Developed by Polyphony Digital. Okay, let's see, let's just see if that's a question. Did what's their name again? Polyphony Digital. Okay, I'm just gonna copy and paste. Copy. All right, contact racers for Gran Turismo 7. Yes, but there is nope, that's not what I'm looking for. How many people work on headquarters? They don't tell you that type of stuff, and it's like they just tell you, is there a way to contact them? I'm like, I'm not trying to talk to them. I'm just trying to figure out, do they contact actual professional racers when they're working on these games, or do they just have like a brief conversation with them about racing, but then they don't go over by like detail, play by play. They don't go over the key things that makes a racing game like a racing game. They just only go over the highlights. They just only go over, and it's like, fam, if you guys are gonna be making a simulator, you need to make an actual simulator. But it's like, what sense does it make to come out with a simulator and then there's things missing? That don't make no sense. That's like if I were to make a simulation of my life, but I leave out key things, and or like let me leave out the me being a streamer, me making TikTok videos, me making, but it's like, fam, you did that. So it's like, what's like why is it that, why is that not in the game? Why is that not, but it'll even be like with military games where they so-called claim it's a simulation, but it's like, there's things that'll happen in that game where it's like, fam, when have you seen that in real life? They like, you'll be playing a firefighting game, right? And then they'll have some dumb stuff in there where it's all like, when have you seen that in real life? When have you seen it? Like, no, but that even with there's like the firefighting simulator, I feel like it's mainly simulator games where they do dumb stuff like that. But firefighting simulator, they'll just have it where you have to tell the firefighters to go put out a fire. But if you don't, they just stand there and they not even having a conversation with each other. They're just standing there looking at each other. When have you seen that at a fire, like when a fire is going off on a building somewhere? Where have you seen where firefighters are just standing around, one's just going in that whole building solo, getting set on fire numerous occasions, and all the firefighters that goes into the truck, drives all the way to the where the fire is at, but they just stand there and have a conversation? When have you seen that? When have you ever seen where firefighters just didn't do their job? Or even they'll have it where it'll be a police, the police simulator game. They have it on there where you're just going around just giving out tickets. But high-speed chases, shootouts, and all these other different crazy things, none of that's in the game. They just, when I sat down and played that police simulator game, I was like, fam, why did they just got me going around handing out tickets? That's one of the main reasons why I don't even like playing that game. Because I'm like, I'm trying to do more than just handing out tickets to some parked cars. Bruh, have some other stuff in there. Have it where there's like a hostage situation that's going down. Why is it not a situation where it's like a mixture of that game, Police Simulator, and Ready or Not, the SWAT team game? Why is it not a mixture of that? Why is it not like, I remember they did come out with a police game some time ago, and I had to say with that game, I had more fun playing that game than this Police Simulator. I'm trying to think of some other, they have it where, even if they'll have it where it'll be like other like driving type games, like there's that Snow Runner and Mud Runner, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fam, if the ground is that bad, why am I out there driving? Like, there'll be sometimes where games, they'll come out with like these simulator, quote unquote simulator games, and they'll put you in situations where it's like, in reality, nobody's not doing that. Not one singular person is doing that. So that's why I'm left with that question. When a simulation game is coming out, who are you guys contacting? Let me just see real quick of just like naming off some other games. Steam Sim games. Steam Simulation. Okay, come on, hurry up, load up. All right, F1 2023. I'm like, well, that's done by EA. Oh, I guess that got good ratings and things. But the times where I have played that game, even when I'm using a steering wheel controller, they'll have it just set up on there where it's like the car just doesn't drive right. And I'm like, do you think if my steering feels off, do you think I'm gonna go out on the track and then drive anyways? When have you, like, my thing is this, and if something like that happens, that driver is going to be investigated, because they're going to be like, well, you knew that your car wasn't equipped for this race. Why would you go out there and race anyways? They have the golfing game, and there's like, I think I heard bad things about that game. I didn't even really sit down and play that. Well, now they don't even call it FIFA anymore, but yeah, mixed ratings. But even when you'll see where a character be glitching and going crazy and stuff, and it's like, when have you seen that? When have you seen a character glitching and going crazy out on the field? Madden. I know in Madden, I feel like the sport games. That's a prime example of really bad simulations, because I remember when I played Madden years ago, and they showed when the football got stuck between the two football players' shoulders, and they just ran down the field. Football is just not even like stuck. The football is like levitating and floating around, and they ran all the way out of bounds. When have you seen that in an actual legitimate football game where the football was floating between two football players and they ran out of bounds, and then I had to replay that play all over again? Players glitching across the field. Game, or I win the Pro Bowl and the game freezes, and I'm like, that's why I'll never go out and buy a Madden video game again. And I'm like, Madden has been written off. The only time I play a Madden game is if I play that game for free. Same with NBA 2K. And the latest issue I seen with NBA 2K was players getting stuck on the rim. When have you seen a player get stuck on the rim, 2K? That's what I'm saying. If you guys are going to be making simulation games, you need to contact people that are behind that stuff. Don't just get the likeness of a player. Don't just get the likeness of the situation or whatever the simulation is, and then just be like, oh, well, let's charge $60-something for it and things. No, that's not a simulation. That's just a bunch of crap put together. But if you guys are going to be, if y'all going to be making simulations and stuff, make actual legitimate simulations. Even this other racing game called WRC, I played that game. Game ain't good. What are some other games? Probably the only simulation that I see on this list, and there's like of good games, is The Sims 4. I played The Sims. I grew up on The Sims. The Sims is actually fun. And it's, the funny thing is, that's the one game where it's, you'll think going into that game, it's an actual legitimate simulation. In a way it is, but it is the most arcade simulation out there. And that's why The Sims is so successful. And then there's this other game called BeamNG, and that's another game, BeamNG.drive. That's another game where I'm like, you know what? I have nothing but good things to say about that game. They got like some other games on the list, but it's like, it's just, there's some games where they do their stuff right, and then there's others where it's like, you're contacting the wrong people. So stop contacting those people. Contact the right people if you guys gonna be working on a simulation game. So, but anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode. Peace.